Alright guys, today I'm going to be sharing with you some Sage slow orb lineups for bind. So just for reference, these are my graphic settings in case some lineups might seem weird. You might not be able to see them exactly the same as me. I have everything on low and off, anti-aliasing on none, anisotropic filtering on 1, and everything else is just off except for enhanced gun skin visuals. So if a lineup seems weird, it doesn't look the same on your screen compared to mine, then try and make sure your settings are just like mine. So another thing I want to mention before getting into the video is that these lineups, a couple of them are pretty hard. So what I recommend you guys do is go into a custom match and turn on cheats. That way you can go into your game settings and enable everything over here. That way you can practice specific lineups as many times as you want. So the first slow I'm going to show you guys is very simple. It's a heaven slow. And you're going to want to walk into this corner, aim right at this black line here on the building, and do a normal throw. This will land perfectly in A heaven. So the next slow I have for you guys is going to be in the same spot. You're going to want to walk into the corner and aim at this leaf here, the corner of this dark green leaf. Just anywhere in that general area should do. And it will land right here outside this dark hallway or CT connector, whatever you want to call it. Now, it's pretty situational, but it's normally good if you're just rushing a site and you're trying to stop something like the rotators, just stall them for a little bit longer, or prevent someone from running away and getting into heaven. So the next slow I have for you guys is another super simple one from this corner. You're going to want to aim at the second from the bottom black line here. So here's the first one, here's the second one. And it'll land perfectly under heaven or default A, whatever you want to call it. So I personally believe it's best to use the heaven slow and the under heaven / A default slow together in a combination once your team is already pushed up showers and they're ready to make a play for the site. Obviously, because they're super easy to combo like this, it takes no time at all to set up. Your team just has to be ready to make a play for it. So the next slow I have for you guys is still in this same general area, except right here is where you're going to be standing in this corner. Obviously, it's pretty dangerous if you don't have shower control. You're going to want to clear this out first or have someone watching as you throw this slow. But basically, this slow is really good if you're doing an A split. You have 2 or 3 people at short A, because this is a slow for UHAUL. And it's really simple. You want to stand in this corner that I'm in, aim at this gap between the leaves, and do a normal throw. This slow will cover a good chunk of the UHAUL entrance. Anyone that's playing around here, watching this A short, will have to either play inside UHAUL completely or back into the corner or whatever. And if your teammates are ready to swing on this guy as soon as the orb lands, it should be a pretty free kill. So the next set of slows I have for you guys is actually going to be from outside here, short A. Now these are good alternatives for when you can't get shower control or you want to go instead short A with your team instead of going through showers after your slows. So the first one is another heaven slow. Now we're going to be aiming at these black lines again. This very top one this time, while standing on top of the barrel into the corner. Aim at the black line. And as you can see, a perfect heaven slow. So the next slow is also from this same barrel. Once you're in the corner, this lineup is a little bit tricky. I don't really like it, but to be honest, I couldn't really find anything better from this, from being this close to short A, which will allow you to catch up to your team quickly. So that's why I like this one. But regardless, I still think this lineup is very easy. And what I like to do is aim on the middle of this line of the black box or whatever this is, then move up to this second bulb here. So this is number 1. So 1, 2, go about halfway here and do the throw. And this will land right here. So anyone playing this area will be forced either into that corner or will be giving it up and playing around there. Or anyone playing this close angle or whatever, they're going to be forced into this corner or you're going to catch them out dead. So the next slow I have is from this same barrel. However, instead of being on top of it, you're going to be standing in front of it. So instead of doing this into the corner, you're just going to be walking into the corner like this. And you're going to want to look right at this bulb, whatever this thing is sticking out of the wall, and just aim at it. It'll clip through the wall and it will land right in front of UHAUL. Now obviously, because you basically throw all 3 of these slows from the same spot, you can do any sort of combos. One that could be really good is doing this one first, lining it up before the round starts. Doing that, and then simply dropping down and aiming here. And then you get a slow for UHAUL and the right side of this area. So moving on to B site, the first couple lineups I'm going to show you guys are super simple for where you stand. You want to be standing here, just in general in the middle of this fountain. I like to try and line up here with my crosshair with the middle, but really anywhere here will work. So the first lineup I have is once you're standing on the fountain, you just aim at this block, really anywhere along this block on top of the wall, and the orb will bounce right down here, going into garden and top of long. So if anyone's playing for the orb, peeking this angle or whatever, and you have someone right here ready to swing on this guy, he'll be slowed. So the next lineup I have for you guys is honestly pretty hard. I definitely recommend you go and practice it before you try in a real game. The position where you're standing is going to be the same, just on top of the fountain. But you're going to want to pull out your orb now, line up in the middle of this pole here that holds up like this solar panel, this satellite, whatever it is, and look at the bottom of your orb. So when the bottom of your orb gets to this point, where it's just barely above the white part of the building, do a normal throw, and it'll land down here at elbow. Now, like I said, that is definitely the hardest lineup I've shown you guys in any of these videos. So like I said, go into a private match, a custom game, and turn on cheats. That way you can have unlimited abilities and unlimited time to just practice this lineup, because like I said, it's definitely one that will take some practice before you get down every single time. So the next set of lineups I have for you guys is going to be in bottom mid here near Hookah. These are definitely more dangerous if you don't have Hookah control, so definitely have a teammate up here pushing up, waiting for someone to peek this angle, because if you're caught exposed here with an orb out, you're just a free kill. Once you have this top mid or Hookah control, you can come into this corner here, crouch, pull out your orb, and aim between these 2 wires along this white spot on the building right here, and do a normal throw, and it will drop perfectly into Hookah. Now, like I said, this is good especially if you have someone right here and you think there's a guy playing inside Hookah. He's up top here covering for you, and as soon as he hears the orb drop, he swings on them, and anyone playing in this corner or this area will be slow. So the last attacking side slow I have for you guys is going to be from this corner here. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to line up your crosshair along the left side of this building. You're going to want to move your orb up until you see the top of the orb covering this middle part of this arrow pointing downwards. So basically it'll look like this, and it will land right in front of CT/default B site. So the last thing I want to share with you guys about bind is that if you're playing A site as Sage, something that you can do to help your team if there is a rush at B through Hookah specifically is you can actually throw orbs through the teleporter into Hookah. So if you hear your teammate call out that they're rushing B, they're rushing Hookah, they're in Hookah or whatever, and you're playing A site as Sage, then definitely consider throwing some orbs into the teleporter. If you guys like this style of content, then be sure to subscribe, because I plan on doing lots of other similar videos for Valorant.